Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2022, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 75 years of independence, and UN Sustainable Development Goals 2015-2030 awareness campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute and Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing. So before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue to today's session. Today, we are commemorating a few days in which one of the rarest diseases are also commemorated today, known as Klaus Syndrome Awareness Day 2022, which is a rare congenital disease and complex issues that causes overgrowth and can often lead to vascular problems. So, and another day is Watermelon Day, celebrating this tasty and delicious fruit and has lots of health benefits. And other day is Clean Your Floors Day. Stop procrastinating and clean your floors, and do take up activities like sweeping, mopping, scrubbing, and vacuuming. As we know, this is rainy season, and we need to keep floors clean and dry. So that is also very pertinent. We use carpets, rugs, and all other floor materials which can cause infections to our feet and other things if not maintained in a very proper condition, hygienic condition. And today also marks the Safety at Workplace Bill 2010, which was passed today against sexual harassment of women. Though it was implemented, came into force on 3rd September 2012 by the name Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act 2013. And as usual, this entire week is celebrated as World Breastfeeding Week, and with the theme Step Up for Breastfeeding, Educate and Support. So first day we have seen breastfeeding and sustainability. Yesterday we have seen breastfeeding and its impact and various statistics across the world, and especially like malnutrition, how breastfeeding is affecting the overall child development, not only in the younger age, but also in the entire lifespan, how breastfeeding, when a properly healthy breastfed is able to live a better health, better life than who is not breastfed. So today also we will look into a different aspect, and this entire week we will be having different aspects of breastfeeding so that we can bring more awareness. So let's move on. If you have any queries, you can share in chat box or after session. Uh, when we invite you, you can unmute yourself and you can ask. So let's move on to today's journey. So first, look at close syndrome awareness day. As you have seen in the flyer, if you have observed, you know how actually close syndrome looks like. There you can see lumps and uneven growth of body parts or body. I mean, you can see like trees and not trees especially. I mean, uneven size shapes, and you can see a huge and small lumps popping out from all over the body, or particularly in hands, legs. So this is one of the rarest uh, diseases or disorders. We have United Nations also uh, have it section where we have one rarest disease resolution also, and we have a day dedicated to uh, rarest diseases as well on 16th uh, December 2021. That is previous year. There were many resolutions which were taken up based on various themes and aspects. Just a second. Okay. So yeah, UN resolution on persons living with a rare disease on 16 December 2021. The UN adopted the first ever UN resolution on addressing the challenges of persons living with a rare disease and their families. You know, there are a couple of rare diseases. We also uh, looked at groundbreaking resolution which was adopted by all 193 UN member states and is the first UN document to recognize the specific challenges of persons living with rare diseases, in short PLWRD, and also their families. So this milestone is the outcome of coordinated and robust advocacy from rare disease civil society groups worldwide, led by Rare Diseases International, in short RDI, and the NGO Committee for Rare Diseases and Euro RDIs, that is Rare Diseases Europe, proposed by the UN member states, Spain, Brazil, and Qatar. The text was co-sponsored by 54 countries. The resolution goes just not just beyond health, it affirms that addressing the needs of persons living with rare diseases is essential to advancing the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, which includes access to education and decent work, reducing poverty, tackling gender inequality, and supporting the inclusion of persons living with a rare disease in the society. So, what are the different impacts? Putting a spotlight on persons living with a rare disease and rare diseases often invisible to society, policymakers, and also yeah, puts a spotlight on persons living with rare diseases and are often invisible to society, policymakers, and health systems. It also recognizes the challenges specific to living with a rare disease and need for particular attention to be given to this vulnerable community, a form of soft law binding on the UN Secretariat as well as its budget and programs. The UN resolution enables greater recognition and integration of rare diseases in the agenda, actions and priorities of the United Nations, and also provides a powerful commitment at the international level to support rare disease groups advocating at the national level, and also promotes global initiatives addressing the complex global initiatives and also addressing the complex challenges of persons living with a very rare disease, and encourages countries to foster networks and multidisciplinary expert hubs to strengthen health systems for rare diseases. So recognizing that addressing the needs of persons uh, with rare diseases, persons living with rare diseases advances the UN's commitment to leave no one behind and contributes to the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. So, the UN resolution illustrates the power of global community. Together, we are powerful and inspirational voice. So, with this, recognizing the fundamental importance of equity, social justice, and social protection mechanisms, as well as the elimination of root causes of discrimination. Uh, so, key aims of this resolution: inclusion and participation in society of persons living with a rare disease and their families, universal and equitable access to quality health services without financial hardship, national strategies and actions for rare diseases, integrate rare diseases into UN agencies, programs and priorities, regular UN reports to monitor progress on the implementation of resource resolution. So, with this brief introduction, why this topic was pertinent, and many times, the persons with rare diseases are left out and they often do not know why, because these are very rare. Even sometimes even 1 in 1 crore or 1 in 10 lakhs or 1 in 50 lakhs, it's very rare disease, and even many of the medical fraternity also doesn't know about it. There is no solution also for it, for that matter. Many rare diseases, and some occur in 1 in 2, 3 crores population. So it is very difficult depending on the type of rare diseases that cause. These are mostly congenial, but these are by birth, due to some birth defects or something like that, due to some genetic or an interaction of genetic or epigenetic. So a lot of factors are there, and being rare, many are not aware of these diseases, and it goes undiagnosed, untreated, and lot of stigma associated with it, and they are also discriminated and they are left out from the main population, and also uh, untreated, and they uh, are discriminated in all terms at times. So, uh, with this, we have to look into those population also when we are talking about sustainable development, development which leaves no one behind. So, these rare persons living with rare diseases, like one among them is CLOVE syndrome, which today is dedicated to CLOVE syndrome awareness day internationally. So today, we communities all come together to share information and resources on these rare congenial diseases. There are only 200 identified CLOVE cases in the world over, which means inadequate funds and research. See, in entire population on the earth, we have 200 patients with CLOVE cases. Those are identified and reported. Now imagine how many of us know CLOVE, and even if you know, how many of doctors know. See, and you can just see the proportion. Total, what is the total population of the world, and 200 cases, how rare it is, and what if it happens to one of our children, and you can imagine the plight of pain, agony, sorrow, all those to their parents. So this is the magnitude, this is the prominence of having a rare disease and having a children with rare disease. So it is very significant to address, advocate, create awareness, and also fund uh, research so that it can be prevented. So families affected have no access to effective treatment options. Without more awareness, they may never get it. And CLOVE Syndrome Awareness Day is a global observance. So it calls every person to act, get into action, and hopes to inspire community support. So as we see, in CLOVE syndrome is a very rare disease that affects infants at birth, and there are less than 200 cases of CLOVE cases reported worldwide till date. Here, remember, reported. There may be many more unreported. This congenial disease is characterized by abnormalities in the bones, joints, or blood vessels. So, CLOVE syndrome occurs due to mutation in the PIK3CA gene. That is one of the gene. They have named whatever genes were identified, they have given some names. So, this is one such gene. A child's long-term health depends on the severity of the symptoms and their age. The sooner doctors can diagnose symptoms, and the more effective treatment can be. So early detection is no easy feat. As you know, this is very rare disease, and many people doesn't know a bit about it, and many doctors also for that matter. They can misdiagnose with some other thing, or however, but symptoms differ vastly from one child to next. That is also one challenge. And what could be worse? Even though that disorder exists at birth, it may not be easy to identify straight away. That is one more challenge. See, with these so many complexities, it is very difficult to identify early and for early intervention. Generally, parents must watch for anything that seems out of the ordinary, especially fatty masses on their back, belly, or flank. Take care to check for large gaps between the big toe and other toes. Most CLOVE patients exhibit these symptoms. Other symptoms can include wart-like bumps, issues with spine, limb abnormalities, or enlarged veins. So far, there is no evidence to suggest predispositions to this particular gene mutation. It spontaneously occurs inside a mother's womb while the baby is still developing. So there's nothing more distressing than knowing that there is no way to prevent disease, particularly when it involves infants. Low Syndrome Awareness Week aims to increase general awareness, education, and also empathy that can lead to better research, therefore better treatment for close patients. Close Syndrome Awareness Day hopes to build community support and raise funds for those who need treatment. Everyone should have access to the proper course of treatment and live their best life. So speak about it, share stories, and the goal is to get word out of as far as possible. So the first known account or the first known reported close patient was in 1867. Hermann Friedberg, a German physician, publishes a case report describing a gigantism of the right lower limb. In 2007, a syndrome is discovered. SAP and colleagues examine a set of 7 patients and first identify the spectrum of close symptoms. In 2008, the first rare disease day, in tune with the spirit of February 29th, the Council of National Alliances and Eurodis marked the first rare disease day. In 2019, new approaches to treatment were discovered by the researchers in Spain that patients respond positively to oral rapamycin treatment. So, thus, Close syndrome is a rare genetic disorder, and CLOSE is basically an acronym that stands for a combination of abnormalities at birth: congenital lipomatous, overgrowth, vascular malformations, epidermal nevus, spinal skeletal anomalies, scoliosis. So these all are combined and in short known as close. A close patient quality of life depends on the symptoms or a combination of symptoms. Life expectancy varies accordingly as well. So we know that around 200 people were reported worldwide. So that's where the rarest of the rarest diseases. And how do we observe or how do we reciprocate or how do we show empathy towards them? Wearing something green today, a green ribbon or a green dress or anything, and show them that they are not alone and we are also part of them, supporting them, and spread the word out, post and share information on social media, conduct various events online, offline, and reach out to CLO patients and say that we are here, and create more awareness and share your experiences uh, with the close patients, or if you yourself is a close patient, then write and share your experiences. And when we are talking about rare diseases, so what is considered as rare, right? The US considers a rare disease if it affects less than 2 lakhs people, and children are most affected, as children make up 50% of the patients are suffering from rare diseases. And since these diseases rarely occur, it may take an average of 5 years for a correct diagnosis. Only 5% of the rare diseases have effective drug research and treatment. So some cancers occur so infrequently that they can also fall in this rare category. So let's build compassion and empathy towards people's pain and who are close patients and as well as the caretakers, and we can share this information awareness which has the potential to save lives, and also pressurize lawmakers or advocate lawmakers about clause could lead to a ripple effect in legislation when the objective is saving lives. Every little act counts. So with this, we shall conclude this topic today. There is one symptom. Okay, just one second. Before I forgot to give this early signs and symptoms of Close syndrome, as I mentioned, but uh, a little more information about early signs and symptoms of Close syndrome. Delayed development of the body. Children with Close syndrome often take more time to reach developmental milestones than other children of the same age. They have an intellectual disability. They may exhibit behavioral problems such as aggression or self-harming behavior, seizures, eating disorders, and feeding difficulties. If parents or caregivers notice any of these signs or symptoms in their child, they are advised to contact doctor for further evaluation. It may not be CLO, that is rarest of rarest. In the entire population, only 200 patients were reported with the CLO. So it might, there are very greater chances that it might not be CLO. So anyway, reach out in best interest of the children, reach out to medical professional. So with that, we shall conclude the topic, and we shall move on to our next topic for the day, that is commemorating National Watermelon Day. And yeah, so watermelon, hope everyone likes it, and it is one of the best food that anyone can consume, especially when there is a lot of hydration that happens. So this helps to keep us dehydrated. And as we see, it is hydrating, sweet, and cold. Watermelon tastes like backyard barbecues, and summer days digs into slice and make a smoothie or put together a fruit salad. So watermelon, one would expect it would be juicy, scrumptious, and amazing, you know, mouth watering. Watermelon meets and in every case exceeds that very exclamation. So that's how the, by just listening the word watermelon, you can just feel that. The presence of so much water makes the melon an impressive addition to the fruit family. And if it is carefully procured, and it's a wonderfully amazing. Hope everyone has enjoyed watermelon, and it's really tasty and delicious fruit. It's a type of fruit that is enjoyed all around the world. Not only does it taste delicious, but it offers a lot of nutritional benefits as well, as you don't need to feel guilty about enjoying as watermelon as you want, which is always a plus. And there's a lot of benefits that are associated with eating watermelon or watermelon. This includes the fact that it is a good way of keeping body hydrated, which is extremely beneficial for those of you out there who do not like drinking water. The high water content in watermelons means you are going to get a good dose of water every time that you consume this fruit. In fact, do you know that watermelon is 92% water? What's even better is that a high water content helps you to feel full. Therefore, you can eat watermelon and you don't feel hungry afterwards. The combination of fiber and water that is in this fruit means you get a good volume of food without a lot of calories at all. So you can consume as much as watermelon you want, and there is no fat, no calories, so no obese, no getting fat. So healthy fruit. Another benefit associated with watermelon is all of the beneficial plant compounds and nutrients that it contains. Now, watermelon is one of the lowest fruits in terms of calories. You don't get calories, so no need to do workout, no need to burn out. Yet, it is one of the best in terms of nutrients that it delivers. It provides 3% of RDI, that is recommended daily intake in terms of vitamin B6, vitamin B5, and vitamin B1. It also offers 4% of RDI of magnesium, as well as 5% of your RDI of potassium, 18% of your RDI of vitamin A, and 21% of your RDA of vitamin C. Wow, see how much it is providing. Lot of vitamins B6, B5, B1, and magnesium, potassium, vitamin A, 1% of vitamin C also along with that, and a lot more. The benefits do not end there either. It has also been proven that watermelon is beneficial when it comes to your hair and your skin. This is because of the vitamin C and A that are included in the watermelons. Vitamin C helps to create collagen, which is protein that keeps your hair strong and your skin supple. Vitamin A is also critical in terms of a healthy skin, as it assists with repairing skin cells and creating them. Your skin can look flaky and dry if you do not have enough vitamin A. It also helps in improving eyesight. Watermelon has also proven to be beneficial in terms of digestion. Watermelon contains a lot of water as well as a small amount of fiber, and both of these are vital in terms of healthy digestion. Water helps to keep your digestive tract moving in an effective manner, while the fiber can provide bulk for your stool. If you eat fruits that are rich in both fiber and water, it can be very beneficial in terms of promoting healthy and normal bowel movements. This is also important in ensuring that you feel comfortable and you don't feel blocked up throughout the day. Whether it is more than 92% or more water in the fruit, or the sweet flavor that explodes our mouths with every bite, this fruit lives up to a crowned favorite fruit of children and the world over. That hard rind around the edge gives a smooth texture, easy to hold on, even by the youngest of hands. Soft inner red fruit, easy to eat by young and the old alike, and with a juicy burst of flavor. It is liked by the most that do eat it. Even the seeds are an enjoyment. Spitting them has been contest between family and friends and neighbors. But even the seeds do not detract from this wondrous food, merely giving us a reason to open our mouths for yet another bite of the succulent melon. Even seeds are consumed by frying them and adding with them and consuming it. Even and that's more also delicious, and they are also used in Indian cuisines like making chutneys. No, it's very well goes with the tamarind chutney, when I enjoy a lot. And so that's how that amazing fruit is contributing not only to our health well-being and also by sustainable development, by promoting providing essential nutrients, and also it grows in dry areas where much water is also not available. That's how. And you know, they cost cheap comparatively other fruits, and you can enjoy a whole watermelon in one serving as well. So, well, eating the watermelon straight up is a great place to start. A fruit salad can complement the watermelon very well, as can a little bit of sugar on top or salt on top. Just taste it, yummy. But why end there? Square off the fruit and frost the melon with a liberal coating of whipped cream, sprinkle on other assorted berries, and you have a cake best served cold. Or if one cut the rind in half and hollowed out all the watermelon, leaving only the rind, it would make a great cup for any summer beverage. Serve some cold watermelon sliced lengthwise with some grilled eggplant or zucchini for a great summer barbecue flavor. Many do not expect. Yet, the watermelon can be put into your blender and pour them into molds to form watermelon popsicles. It's very much enjoyed by the youngers and olders. The choices and variants in what the fruit can be used for are so immense. Listening them all here would be crazy. Instead, find a way to work out into the things that it would complement, like light meals or ways to use it differently. But that sweet taste of watermelon on the rind may just be one of the best ways to share it this watermelon day. Cup up the melon, plate it up, add a little salt or sugar if that is your preference, and enjoy the delight of sweetness this season. So, with that, we shall conclude the commemoration of National Watermelon Day, and do keep enjoying consuming watermelon. And then we will move on to our next theme of the day: clean your floors today. As you know, health and hygiene, clean environment promotes the health and hygiene and also sustainable development. So, Clean Your Floors Day is celebrated annually on August 3rd in the US. Most of these are celebrated in US. But why we are talking is because of the significant. See, we need to appreciate everything. That is what we are not doing. Dignity of labor, dignity of uh, doing some profession. We need to be appreciating each and everyone for whatever they are doing, in whatever amount or whatever the quantity or the quality they are doing. That will help appreciate and express our gratitude towards the fellow beings and their professions. And you know, uh, this day reminds everyone to scrub their floors and make sure they are clean. Floor cleaning is a tedious work. Yeah, we all might not like, but necessary core that ensures that the house stays clean and keeps your house safe and comfortable for everyone living in it. While one should clean your floors every day, it isn't always possible. So clean your floors day is a great opportunity to do a deep clean and refresh the floors in your house. So everyday cleanup becomes a breeze. Daily we can't clean the entire house, or we can do a deep cleaning. That happens only when we once in a week, or once in a fortnight, or once in a month, or whenever there are some occasions, celebrations like festivals or gatherings. No, because daily cleaning it takes a lot of time, energy, and efforts, and that is also not required. Basically, that kind of deep cleaning which is required, especially when there is a patient, or when there is an allergic, or when there is a situation at your home. So it's an opportunity to clean our floors completely and thoroughly. While cleaning floors is a tedious task, but it is an important. Floor cleaning is necessary for several reasons, all of which will boil down to keeping the house safe and inhabitable for the occupants. So cleaning floors is important because it cleans up any obstructions that might cause people to trip or slip as they are walking. Not cleaning one's floors can lead to many accidental injuries, which are serious enough to be fatal. A regular cleaning schedule also ensures that floor is free of anything that might scratch or wear it down, which increases its longevity and keeps your floor strong and beautiful for a long time. Wear and tear on your flooring also reduces the overall valuation of your home. So keeping floors clean is also an essential action to reduce allergic reactions. Dust, pet fur, dander, pollen, and all other allergens tend to accumulate quickly on the floors and can cause severe allergic reactions. If they are not cleaned out regularly, cleaning floors is also essential. That one of the factors for choosing floor materials is how easy is it to keep clean, especially in spaces like kitchens, bathrooms, washrooms, and hospitals, where sanitization is essential. So when we look at the history, because all these have Western perspectives and Western uh, contexts. So as we see, the Egyptians invented soap in 2800 BC. The ancient Egyptians added alkaline salts to fats to make soaps that they can use for baths and cleaning services and floors. In 1843, modern tile industry developed. Herbert Minton revives tile making in England, which soon became one of the popular flooring choices. In 1898, the liquid soap is invented. Inventor B.J. Johnson develops the liquid soap Palmolive, which later became the popular cleaner Pine Sol. And in 1950, soap is replaced with detergents. With the shortage of vegetable and animal fats after the war, detergents grew in popularity until they replaced soap for cleaning in home. So what is the best way to clean homes? Is to follow steps like vacuum, dust, or sweep up the dust, then wipe or mop with a clean damp cloth. And what is the most important thing for cleaning a floor is to keep floors clean and free of dirt and debris. And vinegar is a good cleaner for hard tile and soft solid flooring because of its acidity, and it also keeps pests away from the floor and as well as the surroundings. And how do you clean? Cleaning that you probably didn't know. Cotton maps are unsanitary. The long strings on cotton maps are usually full of germs, while microfiber mops are of some better, more sanitary option, unless you clean them with disinfectants. You can use cotton mops as long as you use disinfectants like Lysol or any solution to disinfect that will uh, help to keep cotton mops safe. And floor moppings leads to injuries. Many among all the work done by people who work as cleaners, floor mopping leads to most accidental injuries further. And floor cleaning takes time. Cleaning the floors take about 35 to 40% of the total cleaning time on a standard cleaning job. So depending on the amount of time and the amount of policy that goes in for cleaning, especially as a standard cleaning job. It may be on a daily basis or weekly basis or whatever, however you decide so, or one decides. And dual bucket systems are little bit better. Single bucket systems involve the cleaning the mop with the same water in the bucket and then using the same water to continue mopping the floor, making the method quite unsanitary. So dual bucket systems are better, one for cleaning the mop and other for using the water which can be used to mop the floor. And when people or visitors or guests walk in, the first thing they would notice is the floor and the flooring condition. So cleaning floors is important for our businesses. It reminds us to clean our floors. We really need to get down and clean our floors. We love having a reminder to make sure our floors are spick and span. So this day reminds us to get supplies and a great opportunity to replenish and rethink our cleaning supplies and what are the best supplies that can be used for our floors. And a big deep clean makes it easier for us to keep the house clean in long term. So clean your floors. This makes our lives easier by helping us to do one big clean of all the floors today. So with this, we shall conclude this commemoration today. And coming to our next topic, the Safety at Workplace Bill 2010. You can see an act to provide protection against sexual harassment of women at workplace and for the prevention of redressal of complaints of sexual harassment. This Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Act was initiated and launched, and guidelines were provided. So we will not go much into it because let me quickly give a context. The sexual harassment results in violation of fundamental rights of a woman to equality under Article 14 and 15 of the Constitution of India, and her right to live with dignity under Article 21 of Constitution, and right to practice any profession or to carry out any trade or business, which includes a right to safe environment free from sexual harassment. So in 2013, Government of India passed Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act 2013, which traces its origin from Vishaka judgment of Supreme Court delivered in year 1997, which defined the term of sexual harassment and also laid down guidelines for working women irrespective of their employment in public sector or private sector. After the horrible tragedy of 16th December 2012, also known as Nirbhaya tragedy, which escalated the public outcry for bringing changes in the criminal law, as well as the enacting the Sexual Harassment Act 2013. Both the changes are gender specific in nature. In fact, it was necessary because there was no consolidated law. Vishaka judgment merely gave guidelines and no legal obligation was created by employers. But by the way of this act, a legal obligation was enforced to set up internal committee and follow the guidelines in their organizations. Otherwise, that would lead them to a penalty of 50,000 and in case of subsequent offense, twice the punishment as well as the cancellation of the license or registration by the government or local authority required for carrying on the business of activities. So in brief, when we look, sexual harassment includes any one or more of the following unwelcome acts or behavior, whether directly or by implication: physical contact and advances, a demand or request for sexual favors, making sexually colored remarks, showing pornography, or any other unwelcome physical, verbal, or non-verbal conduct of sexual nature. So there can be different forms of sexual harassment as already discussed. Verbal, that is unwelcome compliments of sexual nature, offensive jokes of sexual nature. Non-verbal, displaying sexually suggestive pictures, calendars, posters, or staring, leering, loud gesture. And physical sexual advances such as touching, patting, pinching, impeding or blocking movement or physical interference with normal work or movement. So this is for that. Quid pro quo, direct or indirect promise of preferential treatment in employment, implied or expressed threat about her present or future employment status, hostile work environment, creating a hostile, intimating, or an offensive work environment, emulating treatment likely to affect her health. And safety. So, Constitution of Internal Complaint Committee and Local Complaint Committee under Section 4 of the Act, at all workplaces with 10 or more employees, the employer must form an Internal Complaints Committee, in short ICC, and this is an obligation that must be adhered to the public and private organizations, which shall consist of following members to be nominated by the employer at workplace, shall by an order or in writing constitute a committee to be known as Internal Complaint Committee, provided that where the offices or administrative workplaces are located at different places or divisional or subdivisional level. The internal committee shall be constituted at all administrative units or offices. The post of presiding officer must be held by a senior level female employee at the workplace, as she will also preside as the chairperson of the internal complaints committee. In case of unavailability of a senior female employee, then the Act mandates that a senior female employee can be nominated from other offices or administrative units of a workplace. If the senior level woman employee is not available at other offices or administrative units of workplace too, then the presiding officer can be nominated from any other workplace of the same employer. If the above is not possible, then the presiding officer can be nominated from any other workplace. And not only that, apart from presiding officer, employee members, external members, and tenure has also been mentioned under section 4 of 3. The Act specifies the tenure of the members of the Internal Complaints Committee in the workplace shall not occupy office for a period of more than 3 years from the date of nomination. And every district officer shall constitute the district concerned a committee to be known as Local Complaints Committee to receive complaints of sexual harassment from establishments where the Internal Complaint Committee has not been constituted due to having less than 10 workers, or if the complaint is against the employer himself. Duties of the employer. Section 19 defines duties of the employer to provide safe working environment at the workplace, which shall include safety from the person coming into contact at the workplace, to display any conspicuous place in workplace, the penal consequences of sexual harassment and other constituting order constituting the internal committee under subsection 1 of section 4, to organize workshop and awareness programs at regular intervals for sensitizing the employees with the provisions of the Act, and orientation programs for the member of internal committee in a manner as may be prescribed, to provide necessary facilities to the internal committee or the local committee as the case may be for dealing with the complaint and conducting an inquiry. To assist in securing the attendance of the respondent and witness before the internal committee or local committee as the case may be, to make available such information to the internal committee or local committee as the case may be, as it may require, having regards to the complaint made under subsection 1 of section 9. So the aggrieved woman, if due to mental or physical incapacity, unable to file the complaint, then, then the Act allows the following persons. So the aggrieved woman, if due to mental or physical incapacity, unable to file the complaint, that the Act follows following persons to file complaint on her behalf: her relative or friend, her co-worker, special educator, or a qualified psychiatrist or a psychologist or a social worker, guardian or authority under whose care she is receiving treatment or care, or an officer for National Commission for Women or State Commission, or any person who has knowledge of the incident with written consent of the aggrieved woman, or any person who has knowledge of the incident jointly with a relative or a friend or a special educator or a qualified psychiatrist or a psychologist or a social worker or guardian or authority under whose treatment she is receiving treatment of care. And will not go into the details, but the frequently referred judgments in this act with this context is the landmark judgment of Vishaka v. State of Rajasthan is the basis of enactment of Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act 2013 and also Apparel Export Promotion Council AK Chopra to maintain confidentiality of the proceedings and to protect identity of the complainant. Section 16 of the Act prohibits to maintain confidentiality of proceeding and to protect identity of the complainant. Section 16 of the Act prohibits publication or making known contents of the complaint and inquiry proceedings, whereas Section 17 gives penalty for publication or making known contents of the complaint and inquiry proceedings. So we shall conclude this topic with uh, the sexual harassment is an anti-social practice and an ethical immoral practice which is not confined to any caste, religion, class, profession or level of status in the society. It can happen with anyone, with the top executive, senior executive, executive, professor, teacher, research scholar, student, supervisors, clients, factory workers, as well as domestic servant, anyone. Sexual harassment may be by the use of power, force, so sexual harassment may be by use of power, force, coercion, fraud, or by undue influence. Enactment of the Sexual Harassment at Workplace Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act 2013 is a big relief for working women and right step taken towards gender equality and protection of women's rights. And also, this act is a big relief for working women and right step taken towards gender equality and protection of women's rights to live with dignity and right to practice any profession or to carry out any trade or business which includes a right to safe environment free from sexual harassment. So there is also one similar act, that is POSH Act 2013. We are not going to deal it right now, but some other time we will look at whenever there is a context on that. So let's move on to our fourth speaker. Sorry, fourth topic. We have concluding, and the last theme of the topic for the day is World Breast Feeding Week. As we have been seeing, as we have saw how this breastfeeding affects positively as well as negatively and it is how it is very much important for the baby as well as the mother. So breastfeeding is when you feed your baby breast milk, usually directly from your breast. So it's called nursing. Making the decision to breastfeed is a personal matter, but nothing more is important than the child's health and development. So that makes a significant consideration. that no mother would like to see her child suffering or stunted or with poor immunity, right? So it is very important, and it's the most important, that breastfeeding has to take place in the better interest of the mother and child. It is also one that likely is to draw opinions from the friends and families. Many medical experts, including the American Academy of Pediatrics and American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, strongly recommend breastfeeding exclusively and no formula, no juice or water till 6 months. After 6 months, after the introduction of other foods, it recommends continuing to breastfeed through the baby's first year of life until second year. How often you should breastfeed your baby depends on whether your baby prefers small or frequent meals or longer feedings. This will change as your baby grows. Newborns often want to feed every 2 to 3 hours. By 2 months, feeding every 3 to 4 hours is common, and by 6 months, most babies feed every 4 to 5 months. Sorry, 4 to 5 hours. And you and your baby are unique, and the decision of breastfeeding is up to you. But remember, it promotes your child health as well as yourself, and it fosters the development of both. So, how do you recognize that your baby is hungry? One of the most common ways your baby will let you know they are hungry is to cry. Other signs your baby's ready to fed include licking their lips or sticking out their tongue, rooting, which is moving their jaw, mouth, or head to look out or look for your breast, putting their hand in their mouth, opening their mouth, fuzziness, sucking on things. So this is an indication that baby is hungry and what and to be breastfed. And benefits of breastfeeding, as we already discussed, it provides the ideal nutrition for the infants. So it's nearly a perfect mix of vitamins, protein, and fat, everything your baby needs to grow. And it's all provided in the form of more easily digested than infant formula. Breast milk contains antibodies that help your baby fight off viruses and bacteria. Breastfeeding lowers baby's risk of having asthma or allergies. Plus, babies who are breastfed exclusively for the first 6 months. Breastfeeding lowers, as we discussed, the risk of having asthma or allergies. Plus, babies who are breastfed exclusively for the first 6 months without any formula have fewer ear infections, respiratory illness, and bouts of diarrhea. They also have fewer hospitalizations and trips to the doctor. So, breastfeeding, as we have seen, has been linked to higher IQ scores in later childhood in some studies, and skin to skin touching and eye contact will help your baby to bond with you and feel secure. Breastfeeding infants are more likely to gain the right amount of weight as they grow rather than become overweight children. The AAP, in short, says we have seen the benefits of for the mother as well as child. How to check whether your baby is getting enough milk or not? Many breastfeeding moms wonder whether their babies get enough milk for good nutrition. If your baby is getting enough breast milk, they should not lose more than 7% of their birth weight in first few days after delivery. Seem content for about 1 to 3 hours between feedings and have at least 6 diapers a day wet with very pale or clear pee by the time they are 7 to 10 days old. Seem content for about 1 to 3 hours between feedings. And what is the best position to feed your babies? The best position for you is the one where you and your baby both are comfortable, relaxed, and you don't have to strain or hold the position or keep nursing. Here are some common positions for breastfeeding your baby: cradle position, football position, side lying position, cross hand, cradle hold, laid back position. Cross or the cradle position, rest the side of your baby's head in the crook of your elbow while their whole body is facing you. When we look at these different positions, yeah? Cradle position, football position, side lying position, cross cradle hold, laid back position. It is making sure that you and your babies is comfortable. How to get on your baby to latch on during breastfeeding? Latching is bringing the infant closer to the breast or to suck the nipple so that baby feeds herself or himself. Positioning your baby facing you so that baby is comfortable and doesn't have to twist their neck to feed. With one hand, cup your breast and gently stroke your baby's lower lip with your nipple. Your baby's instinctive reflex will be to open the mouth wide with your hand supporting your baby's neck and bring the mouth closer to around the nipple, trying to center nipple in the mouth above the tongue. You will know your baby is latched on correctly when both the lips are pursed outward around your nipple. Your infant should have all your nipple and most of the areola, which is the darker skin around your nipple, in their mouth. While you may feel a slight tingling or tugging, breastfeeding should not be painful. If your baby isn't latched on correctly and nursing with a smooth, comfortable rhythm, gently nudge your pinky between your baby gums to break the suction, remove your nipple, and try again. Good latching on helps prevent sore nipples. And tips for new breastfeeding moms. Some things help you to prepare for breastfeeding. Get regular prenatal care to help you avoid preterm birth. Tell your doctor your plan to breastfeed and ask what support the facility you plan to deliver. It offers to help you breastfeed after birth. Take a breastfeeding class. Ask your doctor to connect you with a lactation consultant who can teach you breastfeeding basics and help if you have issues. Talk to your doctor about any health conditions you have or medications you take that could interfere with breastfeeding. Tell your doctor and hospital healthcare providers that you want to breastfeed as soon as possible after delivery. Talk to friends who breastfeed or join a support group for breastfeeding. Stock up on the supplies you need for breastfeeding. such as nursing bras and other items. So the tips called for ABCs of breastfeeding will help you and your baby get comfortable with the process. Awareness, be patient, comfort. Watch for your baby signs of hunger and breastfeed whenever your baby is hungry. This is called on-demand feeding. The first few weeks, you may be nursing 8 to 12 times every 24 hours. Hungry infants move their hands towards their mouths, make sucking noises or mouth movements, or move towards your breast. Don't wait for your baby to cry. That's a sign they're too hungry. Be patient, breastfeed as long as your baby wants to nurse. And be patient, breastfeed as long as your baby wants to nurse each time. Don't hurry your infant through your feedings. Infant typically breastfeed for 10 to 20 minutes on each breast. Comfort is the key. Relax while breastfeeding and your milk is more likely to let down and flow. Get yourself comfortable with pillows as you need to support your arms, head, and neck, and a footrest to support you, your feet and legs before you begin to breastfeed. In few situations, breastfeeding could cause a baby harm. These are some reasons you shouldn't breastfeed. When you are HIV positive, you can pass HIV virus to your infant through breast milk unless you are under ART therapy. You have active untreated tuberculosis, you are receiving a chemotherapy for cancer, you are using an illegal drug such as cocaine or marijuana, your baby has a rare condition called galactosemia, that is, baby cannot tolerate the natural sugar called galactose in breast milk, you are taking certain prescriptions, medications such as some drugs like for migraine headaches, Parkinson's disease, or arthritis. Talk with your doctor before starting to breastfeed. If you are taking prescription drugs of any kind, and your doctor can help you make an informed decision on your particular medication. So, holding a cold or flu should not prevent you from breastfeeding. Breast milk won't give the baby the illness and may even give more antibodies to your baby, help fight off illness. Starting and here are some challenges with breastfeeding: sore nipples, dry or cracked nipples, worries about producing enough milk, pumping and storing milk, inverted nipples, breast engorgement, blocked ducts, breast infection, mastitis, stress. Premature babies are few challenges for breastfeeding or with breastfeeding. Sore nipples, uh, can cause or you can expect some soreness in the first weeks of breastfeeding. Make sure that your baby latches on correctly and use one finger to break the suction of your baby's mouth after each feeding. This will help prevent sore nipples. If you still get sore, be sure you nurse with each breast fully enough to empty the milk ducts. If you don't, your breast can become engorged, swollen, and painful. Holding ice or a bag of frozen peas against sore nipples can temporarily ease discomfort. Keeping your nipples dry and letting them air dry between the feedings helps too. To overcome this, your baby tends to suck more actively at start, so begin feedings with less sore nipple. So with dry and cracked nipples, avoid soaps, perfumed creams, or lotions with alcohol in them, which can make nipples even more dry and cracked. You can gently apply pure lanolin onto your nipples after a feeding, but make sure you gently wash the lanolin off before breastfeeding again. Changing your bra pads often will help your nipples stay dry, and you should use only cotton bra pads. Worries about producing enough milk? A general rule of thumb is that a baby who's wetting 6 to 8 diapers a day is most likely getting enough milk. It's best not to supplement your breast milk with formula and never give your infant plain water. Your body needs the frequent, regular demand of baby's nursing to keep producing milk. Some women mistakenly think this they can't breastfeed if they have small breasts, but small breast women can make milk just as well as large breasted women. So good nutrition, plenty of rest, and staying well hydrated all help too. Pumping and storing of milk. You can get breast milk by hand or pump it with a breast pump. It may take a few days or weeks for your baby to get used to breast milk in a bottle. So begin practicing early if you are going back to work. Breast milk can be safely used within 2 days if it's stored in a refrigerator. You can freeze breast milk up to 6 months if properly freezed. Don't warm up or throw or thaw frozen breast milk in a microwave. That will destroy some of its immune boosting qualities, and it can cause fatty portions of breast milk to become a super hot. Thaw breast milk in the refrigerator or in a bowl of warm water instead. Inverted nipples doesn't poke forward when you pinch the areola, the dark skin around the nipple. A lactation consultant, a specialist in breastfeeding education, can give you tips that allow women with inverted nipples to breastfeed successfully. Breast engorgement, breastfulness is natural and healthy. It happens as your breasts become full of milk, staying soft and pliable. But breast engorgement means the blood vessels in your breast have become congested. This traps fluid in your breasts and make them feel hard, painful, and swollen. Alternate heat and cold, for instance, using ice packs and hot showers to relieve mild symptoms. And it can also help to release your milk by hand or use a breast pump. Blocked ducts, a single sore spot on your breast which may be red and hot, can signal a plugged milk duct. This can often be relieved by warm compresses and gentle massage over the area to release the blockage. More frequent nursing can also help. Breast infection, mastitis. This occasionally occurs when the bacteria enters the breast, often through a cracked nipple after breastfeeding. If you have a sore area on your breast along with flu-like symptoms, fever, and fatigue, call your doctor. Antibiotics are usually needed to clear up a breast infection, but can most likely continue to breastfeed while you have the infection and take antibiotics. To relieve breastfeed tenderness, apply moist heat to the sore area 4 times a day for 15 to 20 minutes each time. And stress is also one of the challenge. Being overly anxious or stressed can interfere with your let down reflex. That's your body natural release of milk into the milk ducts. It's triggered by hormones released when your baby nurses. It can also be triggered just by hearing your baby cry or thinking about your baby. Stay as relaxed and calm as possible before and during nursing. It can help your so It is very important to be relaxed, as the stress triggered by hormones released when your baby nurses can also be triggered just by hearing your baby cry or thinking about your baby. So stay as relaxed and calm as possible before and during nursing. It can help your milk let down and flow more easily. That in turn can help you calm and relax your infant. Premature babies may not be able to breastfeed right away. In some cases, mothers can release breast milk and feed it through a bottle or feeding tube. Warning signs include breastfeeding is a natural, healthy process, but call your doctor if your breast become unusually red, swollen, hard, or sore. You have an unusual discharge or bleeding from your nipples. You are concerned your baby isn't gaining weight or getting enough milk. So you can contact a psychologist, counselor, social worker, a nurse, a doctor, or a family member or a friend uh, to get more information, and it helps mothers get over possible bumps in the road to reaching the further support. So with this, we shall conclude uh, this topic, and shall also conclude for the day. Thank you for patiently listening and attending today's webinar. And feedback form is being shared in chat box. Quickly fill up the feedback form. Just a second. Share the feedback form. So we thank you one and all, everyone, for joining us on this wonderful day, and keep joining daily at the same time with a different topic. So feedback form has been shared in chat box. Quickly fill up the feedback form before you leave the webinar. And certificates will be provided within 15 working days, and it will be updated on website. This time there is some delay due to technical problem, but we'll ensure that all the pending certificates are issued by this weekend. So don't worry about the certificates. They will be updated. Sometimes it takes just 1-2 days. Sometimes it takes 1-2 days extra. So don't worry about that. We will be updating certificates by this weekend. Whenever this update process is taken up, recent, it is updated till that date. So whichever date the certificates are updated, you get all the certificates even for the webinar of previous day also. So don't worry about that, and quickly fill up the feedback form before you leave. And keep joining us and keep sharing with your friends. This is wonderful information we are sharing. So promote among your friends, colleagues, and encourage them to join also, so that they can also get insights about this information. And see you all tomorrow at the same time with the same link with a different topic. Take care. Good night.